As you can see behind us is the derelict old Grimsby Ice Company. At its peak, this factory would produce about 2,000 tonnes of ice every day for all of the trawlers, all of the fishing vessels, and indeed for all of the fish merchants.
Yes, yeah.
If you wish, I'll try and get access tomorrow to go and have a look at the place.
I'd love that, but if I may, I'd like to bring Martin Bullock along with me, who made a film of the ice house in 1990. He's a club member.
That will be fine. I'm sure we can arrange that for tomorrow, and you can look now and see the dereliction.
Right, you want to...
Yeah, you ready, Bill? Bill coming in with us, or... Yeah. You know, last time I came in here, Adrian, this engine was working, and the contactors there, I took a close-up shot of the contactors working. And
Yeah.
It was all in beautiful condition, it was all clean, all shiny. Just look at the state of it now. Last time I was here, Gary, all this equipment was working, and it was a lovely sight. They were filling the tanks at the back end. Going under, and the ice cradles at the front here were working.
Yes, and dropping it down, coming, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the lad was there with his ice pick, dragging it across the floor onto the conveyor belt. It was a lovely sight.
It's terrible, isn't it, to see it as it is now?
It is really, yeah. The thing I'm fascinated by as well was watching the ice bob up in the warm water.
Yes. Yeah.
The other thing as well, that they used to keep a couple of blocks of ice, so they told me, on one side in case the local hospital ever needed it to cool people down.
I didn't know that.
Right. It's a shame to see it like this. On the shot in the film, the ice actually comes down these conveyor belts and then drops into the ice crusher here. And you see, I don't know whether you can see there, there's the sharp points which actually
Yes, yeah.
broke up the ice.
I should think that would be revolving at a fair speed, wouldn't it?
It's fairly fast, yeah.
Yes.
Finally, Adrian, I want to show you that all changes are not for the worst. Today, most of the fish is processed away from the fish market on greenfield sites. This factory behind us processes fish for catering establishments such as pubs, restaurants, schools, motorway service stations and so on.
But there didn't seem enough fish on the market to support even one factory of this size.
That is true, Adrian. Here we are surrounded by several fish factories, but there is no longer a dependency on the local market as fish comes to the port from around the world. It is usually frozen and partially processed.
But why did fish processing on the quayside cease?
The hygiene was very poor on the quayside, and regulations were brought in to improve the standards. With fish supplies to the port declining, it made sense to build the new factories away from the dockside. People get nostalgic about how things were, but I'm sure they would no longer want their food processing in the way it was in the old days. This factory behind us employs 250 people, and their hygiene standards are top class. We should go and have a look at this factory now and have a look and see what happens today.
I look forward to it. Okay. Right, let's go.
Adrian, the technique of filleting hasn't changed over the years. What has changed is the hygiene. Cutting fish creates a lot of mess, but there's an intensive cleaning cycle at the end of each shift. Today we use plastic cutting boards, which are much cleaner. Formerly the wooden boards were seldom cleaned and never sterilised. Staff did not wear hats or proper protective clothing, and smoking was allowed whilst the employees were working. This has all changed, as you can see. Food safety is now a concern of everybody, and we can no longer tolerate how things were done in the past.
Here, at the final resting place of the last Grimsby deep water trawler, I can now appreciate the changes that have taken place in the life of Grimsby fish stocks. Some of the changes were bad, but most were for the better. One thing is absolutely certain, that things ain't what they used to be.
How alive left are memories of the diesel oil and grime, and the mucky damp conditions that made me old before me time. Oh, the memories aren't all bitter, no, they were good times after all. Still I think I'll not return again to this empty, bleak north wall. And I know with each new generation everything must change. Of the good things we once took for granted, not much now remains. But I ask the rain that rattles all along the bleak north wall, could they not have left a little? Did they have to take it all?